Okay, so now we learn about multiplying fraction and dividing fraction. Okay, so you multiply fractions and dividing fraction. This is way more simple than adding and subtracting fractions because you don't have to do anything to make the denominator equal. Okay, but what is the hardest part is only the dividing fraction. You need to use the logic. But first thing first, let's go for the easiest one first, multiplying fraction. So when you do multiplication, for example, A over B times P over Q, I just put any numbers here, any variables, it is equals to A times P over B times Q. That's the rule. So you just multiply the denominator with its denominator and the numerator by its numerator. So for example, if I have 3 over 5, you multiply by 2 over 8. So what to do? Wait, not 2 over 8. I think I have to give you the simple question like this, 2 over 7, because 2 over 8 can still be simplified. Now, what you can do is try only multiplying 3 by 2. So the numerator, 3 times 2, is 6 over 5 times 7 over 5 times 7. It means 35. So it is 6 over 35. We don't have any further value here. This is the simplest value. Okay, I will give you one more example so you can understand further. So 3 over 8 times 4 over 3. How can you calculate this? Again, what you need to do is only to multiply the numerator by its numerator, 3 times 4 over 8 times 3. But in this case, by the way, we can just put 12 over 24. And you can simplify this further by using the simplifying fraction rule. You divide by the greatest common divisor, 12 and 12, right? So 1 over 2. But before we do this, I think we can go previous. We can start from here. We can simplify from here, by the way. Okay, I just rewrite 3 times 4 over 8 times 3. Look at the top and bottom. 3 can be divided by 3 also, right? Can cross it. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 4 and 8 can be divided by both 4, right? So you have to calculate the greatest common divisor. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So 1 times 1 equals to 1, 2 times 1 equals to 2. So we ignore or we try to avoid the biggest number. Okay, that is the further understanding on the multiplying fraction. Okay, again, I will give you one more question. 5 over 9 times 1, 2 over 3. So what you can do now, you cannot do fast. In this case, we need to change the mixed fraction into an improper fraction for the first priority. So just rewrite 5 over 9 because the 5 over 9 cannot be simplified further. You can multiply by 3 times 1. Remember, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5 also over 3. And as usual, use the regular multiplication of the fraction. 5 times 5 over 9 times 3. Can we do the simplification? No. So 5 times 5 easily over 9 times 3, 27. Done. So all of what I highlight right now is the answer. Okay. Okay, that's the way you do the multiplication of the fractions. We will discuss some more questions about multiplication, but before that, I will give you the connection between multiplication and dividing fraction. Now, when we try to divide the fraction, oh yeah, this is the rule. So I need to put the box on it. This is the rule. Okay, so it has to be memorized or it has to be understood. Okay, now dividing fraction. Dividing fraction. For example, if I have A over B, you multiply by P over Q is equals to A over B, you multiply with the reciprocal. of the right side or of the second fraction, q over p. Okay, so again, you need to convert the division, the dividing sign, division sign, to the multiplication sign, but don't forget to change this by q over p. Okay, so p over q, do the reciprocal on the second fraction, not on the first. Second fraction, what you need to change is, so equals, as usual, a times q over b times p. Okay, so what you need to do first is switch to multiplication and also change the second fraction. Okay, that's the way you do. Do you have any questions so far, Rachel?
What?
Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, now let's see. If I have 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 9, what can we do now? We need to change the sign of the symbol. So 2 over 3, you need to change the division into multiplication of the reciprocal. What is reciprocal? You switch the 4 over 9 becomes 9 over 4. Just switch the denominator by its numerator, vice versa. Okay, and then as usual, 2 times 9 over 3 times 4. So in dividing fraction, you need to do one step first. The first step on dividing, first step, you switch the sign, switch the division become multiplication, and to reorder or switch the second fraction. Okay, so 9 over 4 over 9 becomes 9 over 4. And then you can simplify, solve it. 2 and 4. Okay, we can simplify this. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 9 divided by 3. And 9 and 3 also can. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 9 divided by 3 divided by 3 is 1. So the answer is 3 over 2. That's all. Okay. So for the next question, 5 over 6 divided by 1, 3 over 1, 2 over 3 also. I give you the easiest question, easiest mixed fraction, but you know how to deal with it first. Again, for the first part, we need to change the the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. So 5 over 6, you divide by 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, 5 over 3, right? And then what next? You switch the division symbol become multiplication. So 5 over 6, you multiply by the switch or the reciprocal of the second fraction, 3 over 4. So switch the fraction means you do the reciprocal. What is reciprocal? Reciprocal fraction is where the numerator and its denominator switch. Okay, now 5 times 3 over 6 times 4. What next now? You can try to simplify. 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. We can simplify, but we cannot simplify further after you do 3 and 6. So, okay, let it be. 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 4 is 8. So it is longer, but you know how to deal with it, right? Let's go to the next example. Last example on the division. 3, 1 over 2, you divide by 2, 4 over 5, let's say. This is quite challenging. Again, what you need to do is try, when you meet this mixed fraction, you need to change into an improper fraction. So 2 times 3 as usual, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, right? 7 over 2. You divide, still division. Why? Because I just changed the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. 5 plus 2, 5 times 2 is 10, 10 plus 4 is 14 over 5. Okay, so what next? 7 over 2, the first fraction unchanged. You switch the division, become multiplication. 5 over 14. You switch the second fraction. Okay, so 7 times 5 over 2 times 14. You need to do it slowly at first. If you can do it fast, later on, you can do it fast. But to make it more understandable, you need to do the step-by-step method. Okay, now we can simplify. Okay, it's a good question. You can divide 7 by 7 becomes 1, 4 divided by 7 becomes 2, and cannot do further. 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 2 is 4. If you want to make into a mixed fraction, okay, 1 out of 4. Okay, that is all the answer about the multiplication fraction, multiplying fraction, and also dividing fractions. Okay, so this will be the logic or the idea that you can see, and everything is quite simple. And as long as you know how to do, as long as you maintain the focus from the beginning until now, I think you can do it slowly but sure. And if you want to do it fast, I advise you to do it later on, because you need to focus on the idea of what is division and what is multiplication of the fraction. That's the way you do. Okay, I will find the question. Give me a moment. So you can do this in about, maybe I will give you 10 or 15 minutes, and you may pause the recording as well later on, and we will discuss about this later.